Wow. 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 Can you believe that we are embarking on the last few moments of the year 2020? Oh my goodness, isn't that crazy? I mean, I can barely remember when the year started, but we're almost at the end of this year. And yes, if you're like me, it has indeed been challenging. If you're like me, it has also been frustrating. It has indeed been mind-blowing. It has been so unprecedented. And many of us have experienced a lot of ups and downs and challenges, and we've been traumatized by things that we had to endure. But let me tell you this. Yes, it has been difficult, but you and I, we have something to be grateful for. That's right. You and I have something to be thankful for. And what is that? That is life. You and I, we are still here. We are making it. We are still on the earth, which means if you can hear my voice, if you can see my face, that means you're alive. And the fact that I'm talking to you and I'm speaking and I'm being very dramatic, it means I'm alive. And we need to be thankful for that. And I know, I understand. I've had several conversations with individuals that said to me, they said, TJ, when this is over with, listen, I'm not looking back. When this year is gone, I don't even want to look at it. I don't want to think about what I had to endure. I'm leaving my past in the past. And I understand. That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. Who wants to pull up the pains? Who wants to pull up the frustration? Who want to pull up the trauma that they experienced in the past? No one. I get that. I understand. And I can understand why you feel that way. I can understand why you feel that way. You know, I read a quote the other day. And the quote was talking about a millstone being pulled on somebody's neck. And it said, the past is like a millstone that is on your neck. Now, if you know anything about a millstone is a very heavy stone. And it weighs hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of pounds. And usually what that was used for is that years ago, centuries ago, they used to put it on prisoners so that they could not escape their imprisonment. And they were saying in this quote is that sometimes that your past can be like the millstone that will keep you stagnant and imprisoned with that pain. And it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. But what about people like Maya Angelou? Yeah, we know about Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou was a phenomenal woman. As a matter of fact, she wrote a poem about being a phenomenal woman. This woman was a great speaker. She was a great poet. She was a great writer. She was amazing. But Maya Angelou had to endure some things to get her to that place at 7 years old. Maya Angelou tells a story about when she was 7 years old and she was raped by a friend of the family. A man that was friends of the family raped her at 7 years old. Now listen to this. And what she did was she did exactly what people should do when they've been violated by others. She made her voice be known. She told her family, she told adults the truth of what happened to her. And what happened was this. Later on that night, after she told what happened, that man that violated her, that man that raped her, that man that took her virginity, that man was murdered. Someone killed him, took his life. And as a 7-year-old girl, when she heard this, it traumatized her. And she felt as if by her speaking out, that was what killed him. And she made a commitment and she made a vow that moment at 7 years old that she would never speak again. So within 5 years, for 5 years, Maya Angelou, 7 years old, did not utter another word. She didn't say anything. She muted herself. She kept herself mute. This is a powerful story. Listen, you got a story too, but we'll get to that later. It's a powerful story. So instead of talking, what she did, she decided that she was going to indulge in books. She was going to indulge in literature. So what she did was she went from library to library. Check it out. Book from book to book. She read books over and over again. As a matter of fact, she read books to the point that she memorized speeches. She memorized quotes from great orators. She memorized movies. She memorized stories. She memorized so much stuff, so much so that she memorized Shakespeare's play from beginning to the end. Every character's dialogue, she memorized that. She indulged and immersed herself in literature. But get this, hear me here, all right? Though she indulged herself in that, she ran into a mentor, and the mentor said, baby, you're going to talk. No, baby, you got a voice. You got to speak up. You cannot live mute for the rest of your life. And when she began to talk again, what she realized is that she was talking, she was uttering things that she read, uttering things that was imparted in her by her studying, by the lessons that she learned by reading all of this stuff. And now because of that, because of her learning in the midst of her pain, what she did was this. She became a great, infamous writer, infamous poet, infamous speaker that we know of her as Maya Angelou as she is. May she rest in peace. She's no longer here. But listen to me. This is the point I'm trying to say. See, I understand we want to get rid of the past. But there are some DNAs in that past. There are some ingredients from the past. There are some lessons in that past. You remember the millstone that I told you about, that heavy millstone that will hold you down if you hold on to the past? This is where you take that millstone and you put it down and you make it a stepping stone to get to that next level. That's right. How do you do that? This is how you do it. I'm glad you asked me that. I was hoping you was going to ask me. This is how you do it. You have to determine what are the lessons you learned through your trauma. What are the lessons that you learned throughout this year? What are the truths about yourself that you learned? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your passions? What do you know about you? And what lessons did you learn of how to get over and overcome the things you overcame? You got to figure out how to do that. You got to figure out how to identify that. Now listen to me. It's all there. It's embedded in you. Why? Because you experienced it. So you got to make up in your mind. Are you going to be a prisoner of your past? Or are you going to be a victor of your past? Wouldn't it be amazing? Listen to this. Wouldn't it be amazing if you can get paid for every traumatic frustration from everything you experienced that was ugly, that wasn't good, that was bad? Wouldn't it be amazing if you can pay for that? Do you realize you will probably be, just like myself, a multi-millionaire, maybe a billionaire, if you got paid for everything that you had to experience? But isn't it great that you still can? You still can. How do you do that? You take your life experience, you take your lessons learned, and you figure out, how do I apply that to my life now and the years to come? So what I want to do today, you got to ask yourself, which one you're going to choose? Are you going to be a prisoner of your past? Or are you going to be a victor of your past? Which one you think will be better for you? I know which one I'm going to choose. I'm going to be a victor, right? I'm going to be a triumphant over my trauma. I'm going to be a victor. And so should you. So listen to me. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to challenge you, and then I'm going to let you go. I want to challenge you. I want you to find some time and do like Maya Angelou did. Maya Angelou got quiet. She muted herself. I want you to turn off your television. I want you to turn off your phone. I want you to get away from some people. Isolate yourself. Spend some time with you. Spend some time with God. And I want you to go over this year, and I want you to write down lessons that you learned. And whatever that lesson is, or those lessons are, I want you to ask yourself, how will I implement these lessons in my life in the year 2021 and the years to follow? But I got something better for you. Why wait till 2021? Why not get started now and walk into 2021 with those lessons working for you already? Listen, I hope I said something to encourage you. I hope I said something that will inspire you. I hope I said something that would say, you know what? He's right. I will sit down and figure out the lessons that I learned, and I will implement it into my life from this point on. You know what? I love you so much. I'm praying for you. I'm praying that God covers you, that God opens up your mind. I pray that you have a paradigm shift of what you thought you knew, to see that there is greatness inside of you. I hope that has happened today. You know what? I'm about to let you go. But I am Tanae Jordan Jr., and I am your transformational development strategist. And you know what? Everything that I said today, I approve this message. Have a great day.